When he awoke, a rough voice was saying, "Okay, snap out of it." He opened his eyes and recognized the police commissioner's office. It would be hard not to recognize. The room was large, devoid of furniture except for a desk and chairs, but the walls were lined with the controls of television screens, electronic calculators, and 100 other machines that formed New York's mechanical police force. Commissioner Hendricks was a remarkable character. There was something wrong with his glands, and he was a huge, greasy bulk of a man, with bushy eyebrows and a double chin. His steel-grey eyes showed something of his intelligence, and he would have gone far in politics if fate hadn't made him so ugly. For more than half the voters who elected men to high political positions were women. Anyone who knew Hendricks well liked him, for he was a friendly, likable person, but the millions of women voters who saw his face on posters and on their TV screens saw only the ugly face and heard only the harsh voice. The President of the United States was a capable man, but also a very handsome one, and the fact that a man who looked something like a bulldog had been elected as New York's police commissioner was a credit to Hendricks and millions of women voters. "Where's the girl?" Joe asked. "I processed her while you were out cold. She left. Joe, you..." "Okay," Joe said. "I'll save you the trouble. I admit it. Attempted rape. I confess." Hendricks smiled. "Sorry, Joe. You missed the boat again." He reached out and turned a dial on his desktop. "We had a microphone hidden in that alley. We have a lot of microphones hidden in a lot of alleys. You'd be surprised at the number of conspiracies that take place in alleys." Joe listened numbly to his voice, as it came from one of the hundreds of machines on the walls. Scream as loud as you can. And when the cops get here, tell them I tried to rape you." And then the girl's voice. "Sorry, buddy. Can't help." He waved his hand. "Okay, shut it off. I confess to conspiracy." Hendricks rose from behind the desk, walked leisurely to where Joe was slouched in a chair. "Give me your CPA ID." Joe handed him the card with trembling fingers. He felt as if the world had collapsed beneath him. Conspiracy to commit a crime wasn't a crime. Anyone could conspire, and if the conspirators were prevented from committing a crime, then that meant the CPA had functioned properly once again. That meant the CPA had once again prevented crime.
And the CPA didn't punish crimes or attempted crimes.
And it didn't attempt to prevent crimes by punishment. If it did, that would be a violation of the new civil rights. Hendricks crossed the room, deposited the card in a slot, and punched a button. The machine hummed, and a new card appeared. When Hendricks handed him the new card, Joe saw the words, "Dangerous criminal tendencies," were now in red and larger than before, and in slightly smaller print. The ID card stated that the owner was a DCT first class. "You've graduated," Hendricks said coldly. "You guys never learned, do you? Now you're DCT first class instead of a second class. You know what that means?" Hendricks leaned closer until Joe could feel his breath on his face. "That means your case history will be turned over to the newspapers. It'll be the hobby of thousands of amateur cops. You know how it works. It's like this. The Joneses are sitting around tomorrow night and they're bored. Then Mr. Jones says, 'Let's go watch this Joe Harper.' So they look up your record. Amateur cops always keep records of first classes in scrapbooks. And they see that you stop frequently at Walt's Tavern. So they go there and they sit and drink and watch you, trying not to let you know they're watching you. They watch you all night, just hoping you'll do something exciting, like trying to kill someone, so they can be the first ones to yell, 'Police.' They'll watch you because it's exciting to be an amateur cop, and if they ever did prevent you from committing a crime, they'd get a nice reward and they'd be famous." "Lay off," Joe said. "I got a headache. That girl." Hendricks leaned even closer and glared. "You listen, Joe. This is interesting. You see, it doesn't stop with Mr. and Mrs. Jones. There's thousands of people like them. Years ago, they got their kicks from reading about guys like you. And these days, things are dull, because it's rare when anyone commits a crime. So every time you walk down the street, there'll be at least a dozen of them following you. And no matter where you are, you can bet there'll be some of them sitting next to you, standing next to you. During the day, they'll take your picture with their spy cameras that look like buttons on their coats. At night, they'll peep at you through your keyhole. Your neighbors across the street will watch you through binoculars and lay off." Joe squirmed in the chair. He'd been lectured by Hendricks before, and it was always an unpleasant experience. The The huge man was like a talking machine once he got started, a machine that couldn't be stopped. And the kids are the worst, Hendricks continued. They have junior CPA clubs. They keep records of hoodlums like you in their little cardboard boxes. They'll stare at you on the street and stare at you through restaurant windows while you're eating meals. They'll follow you in public restrooms and watch you out of the corners of their eyes while they wash their little hands. And almost every day when you look back, you'll see a dozen freckle-faced little boys following you half a block behind, giggling and gaping at you. They'll follow you till the day you die, because you're a freak. Joe couldn't stand the breath in his face any longer. He rose and paced the floor. And it doesn't end there, Joe. It goes on and on. You'll be the object of every do-gooder and parapsychologist. Strangers will stop you on the street and say, I'd like to help you, friend. Then they'll ask you queer questions like, did your father reject you when you were a child? Do you like girls? How does it feel to be DCT first class? And then there'll be the strangers who hate DCTs. They'll stop you on the street and insult you, call you names, spit on you, and okay, goddammit, stop it. Hendricks stopped, wiped the sweat from his face with a handkerchief, and lit a cigarette. I'm doing you a favor, Joe. I'm trying to explain something you're too dumb to realize by yourself. We've taught everyone to hate crime and criminals, to hate them as nothing has ever been hated before. Today, a criminal is a freak, an alien. Your life will be a living hell if you don't leave New York. You should go to some small town where there aren't many people, or be a hermit, or go to Iceland, or... Joe eyed the huge man suspiciously. Favor, did you say? The day you do me a favor? Hendricks shrugged his shoulders negligently. Not entirely a favor. I want to get rid of you. Usually I come up here and sit around and read books, but guys like you are a nuisance and take up my time. I couldn't leave if I wanted to, Joe said. I'm flat broke. Thanks to your CPA system, a DCT can get a decent job. Hendricks reached into a pocket, withdrew several bills and extended them. I'll loan you some money. You can sign an IOU and pay me back a little at a time. Joe waved the money away. Listen, why don't you do me a favor? Why don't you frame me? If I'm such a nuisance, pin a crime on me. Any crime. Can't do it. Convicting a man of a crime he didn't commit is a violation of civil rights, and a crime in itself. Why don't you take the free psycho treatment? A man doesn't have to be a DCT. With the free treatment, psychologists can remove all your criminal tendencies and go to those head shrinkers. Hendricks shrugged again. Have it your way. Joe laughed. If your damned CPA is so all-powerful, why can't you make me go? Violation of civil rights. Damn it, there must be some way you can help me. We both want the same thing. We both want to see me convicted of a crime. How can I help you without committing a crime myself? Hendricks walked to his desk, opened a drawer, and removed a small black book. See this? It contains names and addresses of all the people in New York who aren't properly protected. Every week we find people who aren't protected properly.